business to business and business to consumer. This video will look at these two key terms, what do they mean and how do they impact on a business. Firstly, let's take a look at what is meant by the term market. Well, a market is a place where buyers and sellers come together. Typically, this will be where they exchange goods or service for money. So the buyer, for example, would be giving the seller a form of payment for the product that they sell. And that all takes place in a market. We have two different types of market. The first type of market we're going to look at is business to business, sometimes called B2B. In the business to business market, this is where one business will typically buy from another business. So for example, the producer or the manufacturer of the product will sell their product to another shop. That's one business selling to another business. Now the other type of market is business to customer or B2C. And this is a market where one business will sell directly to the customer. So for example, the shop that previously bought the product from another business will now sell those products directly to the customer. At this point, that part of the transaction is seen as a business to customer market. So how do they actually differ? Well, the business to business market will typically have the price charged per unit being lower, whereas in the business to consumer market, the end price will be higher. And that's because of the profit margin that the retailer needs to make. However, in the business to business market, the quantity ordered will be typically higher, whereas in the business to consumer market, then the customer tends to be purchasing less items. For example, they purchase one item, where the company or the shop might buy 1,000 items from the supplier. The packaging will also be more basic and more functional in the business to business market, whereas in the business to consumer market, it tends to be more eye-catching and appealing to try and add value to try and sell the product to the end consumer. And the promotional methods used in the business to business market will also be different. For example, it'll be more personal selling and direct marketing that will be used to try and build that relationship with the customer. Whereas in business to consumer, it may be more above the line methods such as sales promotion and advertising on ambient methods to try and capture the attention of the audience and get them to spend more money. That's how the two markets tend to differ. So let's just quickly look at an example of how this really works. So if B is the producer of honey and we sell those jars to the shop might pay 50 pence per jar. That part of the transaction, as you can see, is business to business. Now when the shop sells that jar of honey to the customer, which will be at £2 per jar, then that part of the transaction will be business to consumer. Of course, what will be happening in that transaction there is the shop won't be buying one jar from the producer, they'll actually be buying 1,000 jars from B in one go, and they will get delivered, the shop will hold the stock, and then it will sell each jar on to the customer for the price of £2 per jar. And that is how the process works